Facebook. Okay. Cool. Hello once again, Dr. Dave. I love your background.
Good morning. I love it too.
Yes, absolutely. So we are back to talk about what if? What if there was a positive possibility that could happen? What if things went well? A lot of us don't think of that. It's usually, what if this goes south and this doesn't turn out well, or what if this happens? But there is the whole positive side. So let's just take a nice deep breath in and out. Let's just ask what the message is for today. What if today I chose to be energized? Some of us get out of bed. It's like, oh my goodness, I want to crawl back in and not do today. Well, what if today you chose instead to be energized? So let's see what this is all about. How is your energy these days? Do you feel and are possibly beginning to look like a couch potato? Well, there are a few ways to ensure that this does not happen. 2 of them have to do with eating healthy foods and moving your body each day. This does not include trips to the fridge and back. The third has to do with your mindset. How are you feeling? Are you feeling lethargic and tired, or are you energized and ready to take on the world? Do you know that each moment of every day you can choose how you feel? What do you think about that? You decide how you feel. No one else. No one can make you feel a certain way. You determine how you will react or respond. Oh, that's so funny. To a situation. It's all you. Does life look a bit different knowing that you have had the choice all along on how you were going to show up for the day? What will you do differently right now, as well as moving forward, to make changes to what is going on in your life? At the same time, what if you choose to be energized? Set some goals that excite you and make you want to get out of bed in the morning. Tackle each task and step with relish. Imagine how different your life would be if you began each day being energized. Being energized is contagious. If you show up for the day energized, you set the tone for the rest of the family. Imagine what you could accomplish when everyone is on board. Wow, I like that one. That just ties it up even with an extra bow and a cherry on the top. It's what we talked about in Nature's Divas. So I love how this all comes together. But as I said before, it's choice. We get to choose. So if you imagine for a moment, and this is a really good example, if you're feeling like, oh, I just want to go back to bed. But then your friend calls and goes, hey, how about we go garage selling? Or how about we go do this? Or how about we go do that? What happens? You're like, yeah, I'm all over that. And then all of a sudden, you're not tired anymore. Funny how that happens. It's because you chose to do something different. Now, you don't need your friend to be able to ask you that, because you can do it within your own mind, going, hey, I'm going to set some goals, just like we talked about in Nature's Divas. If you don't have goals and you're just sitting there living a reactive life, waiting for something to happen and then react to it, please stop, because that's not why you're here. You are a conscious creator, and your soul has a purpose here. You're here to do something. You have a mission. And by creating those goals and those steps, it's going to get you motivated to get out of bed each morning, because you're like, ooh, I get to do this today. And then I'm going to be this much closer to manifesting my goal. So it's really important to set goals, because if you don't, then what's the purpose? You won't want to get up in the morning because there's nothing to look forward to other than drama. And who wants that?
Right.
Hmm.
We have a supersized dose of that usually everywhere. Not too far or short on that drama factor.
Absolutely.
You had I love the part where it was a statement that you made that you kind of we just kind of blazed over really fast, was when you're deciding on to get out of bed, and you said, I get to da 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 da. That phrase alone literally transforms whatever comes after it. I get to. And that literally is where you're going to be energized, because you use the phrase of I get to, as opposed to I have to, which is defeating, and it is energy withdrawing, if you will. So it's taking away your energy as opposed to giving. Because I get to means I'm looking forward to, I'm anticipating it in a happy, positive way, as instead of I have to. You've already labeled it as a negative. And so now that's going to be going into the depletion folder, not the energized folder of what our day's like. Just that alone can massively shift our reserves and energy and how we interact in our day. And so important. So if you remove I have to in your vocabulary, and even the littlest of things, even the things that you know are not really wanting to do, but you get to do them. So I get to take the kids to school. Okay. Well, I don't want to get out of bed to do that either. However, I get to do that because one, I have kids. I get to because I've got a car. I get to because we have the opportunity in our present world to be able to have these incredible luxuries. Think of all of the kids that don't in the globe, that that isn't even close to being a reality. So changing it into the I get tos. I get to go to work today. Uh, it brings that somewhere it better into the realm of possibility, of positive, as opposed to the I have to work. We're already setting that's going to be taking away our energy. So that alone will change that. And so, in that question that we have of what if we choose to be energized, it is absolutely a choice. And I love that that's in that statement, that you choose empowered, you choose to be energized, you and choose to be anything. It's a empowered statement as opposed to I have to. Um, I think almost everyone daily in our culture is kind of finding they're always managing their power, managing their energy system, whether they are consciously doing it or not. And so it's the management of power. So one of the first things, if we are not finding ourselves in alignment with being energized, then we need to do just a little bit of evaluation. And where are you hemorrhaging? Where are you losing your energy at the present moment? And so, is it appropriate for you at that moment? Do you still continue to need to lose your energy there? Or if you're going to be aligned with, I'm choosing to be energized, then where can I shift? Where do I want to shift my focus and take that energy flow And let's really concentrate on keeping that good, strong, and clear. So that's the reality, as opposed to the drained and too busy and all of those other things that we tend to say so easily. Thoughts, questions?
Absolutely. And I think that whole I have to is also, I talk about in my book, what if, the woulda, shoulda, couldas. So,
Mm,
oh, well, I should do that. Or, and it's those expectations that you've either put on yourself or you feel somebody else has put on you, or that you've
mhm,
allowed to be put on you. Because if we have choice, we can choose to say no instead of, well, I should do that, or I have to do
mhm,
that. Well, no, you don't have to do anything. You choose to. And if you choose to do it, then, as we said in the Nature's Divas, be present.
mm,
Give it your
mhm,
all, because you are choosing to do this. Because if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, if you have to, or you think you should, people are going to see that. They're not stupid. So you're going to come into this situation and it's like, ugh. And they're going to be able to tell that you don't want to do that. So if you don't want to, don't do it. And if you are
mhm.
choosing to do something, then be present and do it with your whole heart. Do it with love and share that. And expectations is a big thing. And there are no expectations. It's our belief that there's expectations there, because we expect people to act in a certain way or say certain things or do certain things. But really, it's their choice whether they want to do them or not, just like it's our
Mhm.
choice to do things or not. And so many times, nobody wants to say no, but they don't want to do it anyways. And when you look at a child, you ask them a question. My granddaughter, she's 3. You want to do this? No. How about this? No. Do you want to do this? No. Do you want this? No. It's like
Mhm.
there is yeses in there, but it's very easy when we were children to say no.
Mhm.
So why did we forget that? Like, what happened to us to make us feel that we have to say yes all the time when it's detrimental to who we are inside, to the light that we are, because all it does is dim us and deflate us because we don't want to do something. And as you said, like, oh, I get to go to my job. If you don't like your job, then figure out, choose to do
Mhm.
something different. Nobody's making you stay there. And it's all a choice. Every moment of the day is a choice. If you don't like where you are, or you don't like what you're doing, change it, because you have the power. It's all within each and every one of us to choose something different and not have those expectations. And really, we get to live on this planet. We get to do all these wonderful things. And
Mhm.
we get to do chores. Like, I don't like cleaning the bathroom, but you know what? When I learned about this, it's like, thank goodness for indoor plumbing. I just got to say that,
Mhm. Yes.
because it could be different. When I was growing up, my grandparents lived in the country, and my friend who lived across the street, they didn't have indoor plumbing. So somebody coming from the city, they had a water pump out the front, and it was my friend's job. That was her chore. She had to go and pump the water. I'm like, oh, can I do that? She's like, knock yourself out. So I'm pumping away. I'm having a great old time. Her dad's out there and he's digging this hole. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, what's this? So she's like, come on in
Mm.
and see. And I'm like, "Ow!" I'd never seen one before. But, thank goodness for indoor plumbing. Thank goodness I don't have to walk to an outhouse that's out in the back. I got to put my boots on and my coat on in the middle of winter and do all this. Like, I just turn the tap. I flush the toilet. I can have a shower. I can do all this, and it really brings that gratitude in as well, that if we're present, there's so many things to be grateful for. And that gratitude energizes as well. If we opened up our eyes and it's like, thank you for another day, that just lifts the vibration up to go, yeah, what do I get to
Mhm,
do today? What grand and glorious adventures can I have and do today? That's from Access
mhm.
Consciousness. I just love those statements where it's like, it just puts that possibility out of what miracles could happen today. What
Right.
opportunities, what possibilities are there that are going to come knocking on the door today?
Yeah,
And doesn't that make you feel energized? Like, woohoo!
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that I was just thinking, that those are the things that's the vocabulary of being energized, as opposed to when you travel, because there's a whole entire vocabulary of the I have tos of depletions, because then you're going to now identify all the things that is a potential to drain your energy. So just like that, when you shift that vocabulary and go into the I get to, now we're working out of a different playbook, and that has its own very unique vocabulary. And so then I get to align with finding out what's the miracle here, what's the gift in that, and I get to experience these things. And so again, if you're choosing to be energized today, then you're choosing a different vocabulary. You're choosing to show up. You're choosing to be a part of creation. You're choosing to engage into the miracle of who you are and the planet in your experience. So it's empowering just because of the statement I'm choosing. Just that part it's is so enlightening and energizing. Just that part. I mean, so simple and so easy that we can begin that incredible transformation of our day. Not to mention we do that more, then it's gonna be, "Wow, what a month," and then eventually, hopefully, we get to say, "What a life that I got to use and be and have and experience. I got to all of those things." Um, it instead of I have to, and those yes, there are demands for here's an example that I give folks when they're like, "Well, when it comes to the job, I get to go to work." Okay, well, they hate their job. Okay, well, you can choose to have a different one. I get that if it's still a choice though. No, you don't have to go to work. You do not have to go to work. Well, I have bills. Okay. Okay, sure you do. And if I don't pay the bills, then I don't have a house. I don't have a car. Yes, those are all choices. There's many people that don't have all those things. It's still a choice. There's no have to. None. It's not a have to. The only thing I usually ask that folks, what is the one only thing? If you just bring it down to the bare minimum, what is the one thing that you have to do? And when they start getting into really into that introspect and looking at it, and they're like, well, I guess I have to breathe. Well, nope, no, you don't. Still a choice. Still a choice. Prefer that you keep breathing, but it is a choice because if you were to ever use that prayer of I don't want to be here any longer, and you use that prayer from the with all of your power in your soul, and it's a soul prayer of I no longer want to take a breath. It does happen. It's you do have the option. Even your breath is a choice. And so when we start there, like, well, okay, well, there's a lot of choices that I can make then. And now let's look from that point as and I'm going to choose to breathe. Awesome. I'm super happy to hear that. Now we're already at a win. Okay. But then when we just start moving to the next, because that's how we step into more and more of that wonderful, I'm choosing to be energized. Well, great. Well, the first part of that is choosing to breathe. Step one, you got it. Rock on. Now what? So then moving into the next, I'm going to choose to get out of bed today. Awesome. Great. Good for you. I'm choosing to take a shower today, or I'm going to use the nutrients in my food today. Awesome. Eating. Got it. Check. So it's all these little mini wins that we're having that we don't even realize that we're making. None of those are have to. None. Zero. Have to do any of them. All the way back to the nope, not even your breath is a have to. So choosing to be energized, you've already started that journey by choosing to breathe and choosing to get out of bed today. Rock on. You're already on a winning streak. So let's continue that. Stay energized. Allow yourself the grace, the limitless potential of being energized in your day and in your life. So awesome.
Absolutely. That's well put. And just being present in each moment. And you get to
Yeah.
be here right now in this time and space to do whatever it is you're doing. You get to do that. And if you don't like your job, while you're there, what if you were to give that 110% and be present and be energized at your work? What do you think would happen? Maybe you still wouldn't like it, but it might change the feel of what's going on. It might change the circumstances going on. Who knows? But you don't know unless you try. If you go with this mindset of, ugh, well, I can tell you, everybody's going to be responding to that, ugh, instead of,
Right.
hey, good morning. How's everybody doing today? It's a shift and it's a higher vibration and people respond to that. And if you chose to look at each thing that you did with that joy and with gratitude and with energy, could you imagine all the wonderful things?
Mhm.
It's just so exciting and the possibilities are endless.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. That scenario with work of, okay, so if it is that crappy job that you really don't want to be in, but you're still going to make the conscious choice to say, I get to go to work, and you're going to be in that happier space. It, you know, some of that then it's the different changing of what questions we're going to ask ourselves with that. So I get to go to work and exercise my I'm going to be happy regardless muscle because that job sucks. But I'm choosing to flex this muscle of I'm going to still be happy in it, even though none of that's changing, but I'm choosing to be happy even in the circumstance that it is. I'm that person is the worst. I can't stand that coworker. I get to be able to experience how strong and committed I am to not allowing anything like them to sabotage or interfere with me having an energized, blissful day. Well, that's a different way of it.
Yeah,
Completely different light is literally brought to that situation. But there's always the positive. We need to get much more versed in being able to shift into asking the more appropriate questions so that we continue to keep that alignment with being energized with our day. Fun.
absolutely. And it's so exciting because there's just so many possibilities if we take on this belief that we choose. We are in
Mhm.
complete control of our lives. We choose everything. And it's time for
Yes.
everybody to realize that. It's not the government, it's not anything but us. We are the experts on us. We get to choose what we do every moment of every single day. And if we don't like something, then change it. But be grateful for where you are, because there's a lesson on why you are here. And when you learn that, then you can move on to whatever's next and transform. And usually those lessons are there to give you experience so that you can help others when they've lost their way or they're struggling, because you can go, hey, you know, it's not the exact same circumstances, but I've been where you are and I can understand where you are. But you know what? Look where I am now. And you can be there too. You just have to choose.
I agree. Wonderfully put.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Well, I think we've come to it's 11 o'clock. So I want to thank Dr. Dave once again for coming here and just hanging out and talking today. I just love working with you. It's just so much fun.
Me
We
too.
get to
It
do
is.
this every single week.
Yes, we do.
So much fun. So
Huge blessing. Yes.
yeah, absolutely. And just share all these wonderful thoughts to help others find their way and realize that there is choices and they have choice and they can have a totally different life if they choose to. And just to remember that everything's a choice. You can choose to do nothing. You can choose to stay where you are. You could choose to go backwards. You can choose to change your life completely. It's totally up to you and it's your journey. So whatever path you're on is exactly where you need to be. So that's okay. And it's all right. It's not wrong. It's not right. It's just, that's where you need to be. So, but always be grateful. And because gratitude goes an awfully long way. And just seeing all the wonders and the miracles that are available every single day and every single moment.
Awesome. I agree. Thank you so much for letting me be here and sharing the tools that you're bringing to the planet and helping folks with their journey in a different way, and bringing the questions of what if, all those possibilities. So good stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I will see you back here next Monday. I'm so excited that we get to do this every single Monday morning. The first half hour is conversations with the divas, and then the second half hour is the what if. And it's so interesting to see how it all ties together and is all packaged up with a nice little bow. So
Yes.
yeah, it all works together, and it's a wonderful message for just what's going on. And no matter who you are in the world, there's always something that you can take from that, and that speaks to your heart and your soul, and just take that and, you know, see how it changes. And we'd love to hear what your thoughts are, or what moved you today, or what you really liked from today. So please put it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you and what your thoughts were. So have a wonderful week.
Yay.
And we will see you next Monday.
Yay. See ya.
Bye.